Multiplying fractions, specifically multiplying a fraction by a whole number. So our mission for today is to be able to multiply a whole number by a fraction and to be able to understand how to write a whole number as a fraction. So let's get started. Now first, here's a fraction as a visual. The yellow represents how many pieces we have. And remember, the numerator is the amount of pieces we have, which is the top part of the fraction. And the denominator is the amount of pieces required to make it a whole. We only have one yellow box, so our numerator is 1. And for this to be a whole, we would have to have a total of 6 yellow boxes. 6 is our denominator. Now we're going to multiply this fraction by a whole number. We're going to use the number 4. So we have our figure multiplied by 4. That means we're going to have 4 of those total. And each one of those boxes represent the fraction 1/6. If we had 4 of those, what would our fraction look like then? Remember, in previous video, if the denominator is the same, which all of those have a denominator of 6, we only have to add the numerator. And if we have 4 ones, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, that's going to give us 4 over 6. So, how do we multiply fractions without a visual? Well, first, if you have a whole number, you must rewrite the whole number as a fraction. Well, here's our number 4. And to write this as a fraction, we're just going to write it 4 over 1. What? How? Well, let me tell you. Remember, I have said in the previous videos, fractions can also be interpreted as division by dividing the numerator by the denominator. If we divided this numerator, which is 4, by 1, what would it equal? It would equal 4. This means that any whole number written as a fraction is the number written as a numerator over 1. So here's the original problem, only using numbers. 1/6 multiplied by 4. Now we're going to rewrite that 4 as a fraction. And that's going to give us 1/6 multiplied by 4 over 1. Now, when we multiply fractions, we multiply across. So the numerator times the numerator and the denominator times the denominator. So in this problem, 1 times 4 equals 4, and 6 times 1 is 6. So before we do some examples of multiplying fractions, we're going to practice rewriting whole numbers as fractions. Here's 4 numbers. So 2 written as a fraction is 2 over 1. 6 is 6 over 1. 13 is 13 over 1. And 28 is 28 over 1. So no matter how large of a number you have, if it is a whole number, to change it to a fraction is that number written over 1. So time for some examples. I'm going to give you 3 problems. Go ahead and pause the video so you can try these on your own, and then play it when you want to compare your answers. Starting off with the first one, I'm going to rewrite the 4 as a fraction. That's going to give me 2/5 times 4 over 1. Remember, we only multiply the numerator times the numerator and the denominator times the denominator. So 2 times 4 is 8, and 5 times 1 is 5. Now, when the numerator is larger than the denominator, it is called an improper fraction or a fraction larger than 1. But I will cover that more on another video. Our second problem, as we rewrite 3 as a fraction, we're going to have 1/4 times 3 over 1. Remember, only multiply the numerator times the numerator, so 1 times 3 gives me 3, and 4 times 1 is 4. Now looking at our third one, we're going to rewrite the 8 as a fraction, and that's going to give us 8 over 1. Remember, we're only multiplying the numerator times the numerator, so 3 times 8 is 24, and 7 times 1 is 7. This is also an improper fraction, or a fraction larger than 1. So let's recap. When we multiply fractions, the numerator multiplies with the other numerator, and the denominator multiplies with the other denominator. To rewrite a whole number as a fraction, you write that given number over 1. And when a numerator is larger than the denominator, it is called an improper fraction, or a fraction larger than 1. Now, if you have questions or comments, feel free to email me at coachhenrysmath@gmail.com. Hope this was helpful. Have a wonderful day.